Previously on Critically Stupid.
All right, so let's get caught up on where we were the last time we were together. Alternatively, you could just rewatch the episode. But since you probably won't, let's recap. We started out with Garath, who met up with a couple of neighborhood kids, Dustin and Evan, at which time Garath also learned that he has a nickname, apparently the Sneak Attack. That's definitely not going to go to his head, though, right? Right. So the kids were worried about a valuable goldfish being stolen. I'm still not 100% clear on what that is about. But anywho, we found ourselves next at Wicked Wares and Wiles, at which time we learned that Garrett's knife, called Abandon, that's not at all ominous, lets him teleport short distances, and that Arnold has a pan flute that can steal people's voices. Back at the bar, we met up with two punk bard rockers named Wish Tankian and Matt, who told us about a Battle of the Bards, a Fey Day Battle of the Bards that was taking place at Lady Gralhund's estate. You might recognize that name. So we decided that we would join the Battle of the Bards as the Ghost Mafia to hopefully, one, get into this state, and two, maybe actually meet Lady Gralhund. But we get there and learn that it's a mass ball, and we're not prepared. So let's see what happens.
So without further ado, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to soon to be world famous fucking dungeons shit. Fucking
fuck it, you fuck it up.
You're so good.
Start it over, run it back.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's also what I was. Ah, shit. All right, fine.
World famous crit fucking dungeon shit. That's who we are.
Yeah, put it on the YouTube banner. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into soon to be world famous Dungeons and Dragons Real Play podcast, Critically Stupid. By the time you're watching this, I'm sure we've got, I'm going to say conservatively, 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. We've really blown up, as the kids say. But thank you so much for being here. My name is Alexander James. I am the Dungeon Master. My favorite part of last episode, I'm going to pause for dramatic effect while I remember what the fuck happened last episode. Oh, it was definitely when Garath and Arnold were in Wicked Wares and Wiles identifying their newfound magic items, and Arnold just like picked his up off the counter and walked away halfway through learning about what it did. And I thought that was dope as hell, honestly.
Yeah, who needs that? Education, not for Arnold.
Peripheral knowledge at best.
Huh, absolutely.
Let's go Anthony, Bestie, Katie, Gareth.
My name is Anthony. I play Arnold, and my favorite part of last episode was going full dark Arnold and just just taking that guy's voice out and trying for a second time. I like that new toy I have.
I love that you just busted it. You just did it. You were like, I'm tired of this guy. I'm going to use this brand new weapon that I've got.
I was as a player kind of terrified for half a second where I was like I did not think this fully through. There are consequences to these actions that maybe I have not considered, but it was fun. And
Imagine how I felt when I redacted right through the chest.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, by the time this episode comes out, Gary, and that will have long been in the past.
Oh,
but it did very reminiscent of that decision that Garath made in our holiday special.
It's the one when I stabbed Santa in the throat.
Stabbed Santa Claus in the chest, yes, impulsively, and then looked at all four of you and said, "I'm not sure how I feel about that decision."
It turned out fine.
My name is Dianna. I play Mel. I low-key don't remember last episode because it's been approximately 1,000 years. I'm pretty sure that last episode involved my puppy. Joshua Patrick is just going to be my favorite part of all episodes from here on out.
I would actually, Dianna, love you to introduce Joshua Patrick with your bit every time, because he does have a human name. So I don't want new listeners to get confused thinking that there is a secret fifth character on the show. That is a silent.
This happens to be the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you mean the Buffalo Bulls.
Yeah, Buffalo Bulls. But can I beg you to, in somewhere in the description of the previous episode, like ask people to count the number of times you say Joshua Patrick and/or make a drinking game out of it, because it's so many times.
I do say Joshua Patrick quite a few times.
So many times.
I like dogs and I like football, and we just won, so I'm gonna be saying it a lot more.
You could make a sub game of how often I forget the name Joshua Patrick, because I don't think I got it right once. Hey, my name's Katie. I play Cerulean, and my favorite part of last episode was Cerulean singing R-E-S-P-E-C-T fantasy R-E-S-P-E-C-T by Farisa Anklin. So
none of this. Fuck.
I loved it. Oh yeah, it was a whole Dianna. There was like a whole like song and dance number Katie had choreographed. I mean, like it felt very polished.
Did it?
Yeah, and Cerulean was a dance act. Katie got up and danced in her way.
Yeah. It was a really strange, like magical realism moment where like we cut to like Katie on an actual Broadway stage.
Can we do that?
Yeah, donate to our Patreon, guys. We're gonna put that video up really quick.
It does that thing where her background is like a set and like breaks away.
There are videos that exist of me singing that song.
Oh shit!
I realize you're just fucking with me, but that's not very nice considering I have like an actual cognitive issue. That's
all right. Yes, let's take the daily shot at Alex for making fun of Dianna because she can't remember everything.
wow.
Why I have notes.
I meant to make that a joke, but I didn't.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I meant to make. I like
Here we go.
made a mental note in my head. I was like, "You should make this funny by the end of this sentence," and I just forgot.
Kept not happening.
You're like you like your true colors came out there, like your true feeling about my memory issue. You're like, she fucking remembers nothing. Leave that in, and people will stop thinking we're in love with each other.
Oh God, we wouldn't want that.
No,
All right,
no,
Gary,
My
take
name
it.
is Garion. My name's Garion. I play Garath, and my favorite part of the last episode was when Garath allegedly sold alcohol to minors.
Yalah, there's no proof of it, and that's what's really important.
There's no proof of it because Cerulean said absolutely.
It's true. Cerulean, as always, took care of it. Real smooth. Okay, normally this would be the time where I transition into the opening scene and talk about what we're going to do today. But I got some surprises for you, ding dongs. Now, dear listener, first of all, hi, hello. I'm so glad you stuck with us for so long. I have never done this before as a dungeon master or even as a D&D player. So bear with me, please. But we have our very first ever guest on the show today. We've got somebody coming in who's going to play in the space with us. So
shit.
Without further ado, I'm gonna let her in. We're gonna see how this goes.
Yes.
That would be a recap.
Oh my god, I'm shitting my pants.
That's also
Hello.
Hi,
I'm so excited it's you.
Jess the Mess, everybody.
Huzzah!
I'm so
You need a
excited
soundboard
it's
for
you.
applause because it's
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Yay.
Mr. Sean, where are
Super
you?
excited. It's really me. Hello,
Uh,
friends.
Hi,
Hey.
Jess is the very first person I reached out to when we started talking about like bringing guests on the show because I think she's hilarious. I think she's a great fit for the show. So please, everybody, bear with us. Jess has never played D&D before, so she and I are going to be sort of working this together. But she's going to hang out with us for this episode, and you guys are going to meet a new character, and we're all going to sort of get there together. So
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna be terrible. I can't wait.
Low bar.
I was going to say you cannot
Yeah.
possibly be worse than we are.
Oh,
Sort of
you'll
like
see. Oh, yeah.
baseline.
She's like, give it time. Give it time.
you just missed Alex being real mean to me because I'm not that great. So that's all right. You're in good company.
You and I are in this together.
So fast.
So cool for me. I love that. Okay, let's hit a brief recap. So last episode you guys were at Wicked Wares and Wilds identifying some stuff. I pitched you the wrong quest because I wanted to say Dustin Eggo's name a whole bunch, and then I wanted to try out my new nickname for Garath, the Sneak Attack. I think that went really smooth though, guys. I think that one did go quite well. And then you guys went to Yalah Gralhund's mansion for her Fae Day B.O.B., which you learned about from Wish Tankian and Matt, the two singers of the band Sourpuss. Very good, Cerulean. And you are sort of currently waiting outside the Gralhund Manor to get in. It is pandemonium outside, as my main man Garath likes to say.
Bunch of pandas.
Quote me, Garrett.
So many pandas out there.
There
So
are
many
1,000 pandas, all in one band. No, it is. There are several hopeful prospects lined up on the sort of outside of the stone wall in sort of ridiculous costumes. You've got your cowboys in their assless chaps and spurs. You've got what looks to be a whole high school drum line, complete with like liveried outfits. You've got a guy
Are
with
the
one of
high
those-
schoolers behind or in front of the Cowboys with assless chaps? This is a very important question.
This is very important. They are in front of the cowboys with assless
you.
chaps.
Very cool.
This is hey, dear listener, this is a family show. All right, so don't worry, I got you.
I love
and
how
then
you keep trying to brand this as a family show, like it's ever
Trying.
going to
Always has been. He's never
Like,
it's a
failed. Not
family
once.
show.
Hey everybody,
Fetch
my
all
name
over again.
is Gareth. Show this to your children.
I
Don't.
I did not sign up for a family show.
As one of the two resident parents of this, don't show your children. Please
Just
don't.
depends on
My
your-
son watches every week. I don't know what you're talking about. He's actually here right now. Hey.
Sorry about that's a real fan.
But sort of standing in this line, there is a clearly like a member of the household staff coming down the line with a clipboard, a real one, instead of just his hand and an empty pencil, sort of Gareth style. And you can see him sort of like checking off or checking in with the hopeful bands lining up against this manor, trying to figure out who's being let in and who is being kicked to the curb. And actually, as he moves through the line, Cerulean probably be the person to know that, like, I would say 3 or 4 out of 5 groups that he talks to kicks to the curb and starts walking away. It is difficult to get in, and the bands that he is letting through, very pageantried up. He's letting people with really elaborate costumes go through. He's letting in groups that sort of like look like they fit together harmoniously. But he actually rolls up to you and Arnold. He addresses you and says with his.
We did establish that I prestidigitationed everybody's outfits to be cohesive, right?
Yes, thank you so much. Please, actually, Cerulean, take this time and let me know in detail what you guys look like.
Okay, so it's going to be a theatrical play on everybody's outfit normally, because I can't
Everybody-
change.
assless chaps.
We are not showing the booties off.
Yeah, not
Semi
showing
assless
them.
chaps. Everybody's got one booty cheek hanging out.
No, I
I
refuse.
pick which one.
just the butthole. Family friendly.
Oh, I have to send a song to you later for that.
It's all butthole.
Not even kidding. It's literally called "Have You Checked Your Butthole?"
All right,
So-
Cerulean.
So Dianna still gets to be mysterious with her cape, but I'm gonna do purple like stitching and maybe ribbon around, just kind of play it up, give her a couple extra like layers of the hood that because I can't like change the full construction of stuff with prestidigitation.
Dig it.
I'm gonna make like her leather pants have like a purple sheen to them, instead of like, because I can't fully change color. Anyways, Garath, I don't know what you for real wear. Roguey stuff.
I wear
guess?
wizard robes dyed black for stealth.
Have you ever worn a robe and tried to be stealthy with it?
In
I mean,
real
he's done
life?
it. He's done it successfully for
So
13
successful.
episodes.
Hold on. Sorry,
Okay.
are you asking me if I've tried to be stealthy in real life? I don't remember the last time I've snuck or sneaked anywhere.
Well, the next time you do it in a bathrobe. Carry on, Katie.
So his wizard robes are going to I'm gonna be a jerk and I'm gonna make them shimmer with purple.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Why would
opposite
you make? Go ahead. That's fine.
because you tried to sell alcohol to children.
I
And
allegedly tried to sell alcohol to children.
Never proven. Never proven. Never convicted.
Rather than like starting them early, you might as well. Life is gonna get them eventually. So
wow.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're
welcome to
so
Critically
strong.
Stupid. This is a family show. Let your kids drink.
Depression.
I was about to say, and Diana's depressed.
What is most importantly, Katie, what do you and Arnold look like?
Arnold, I am flashing up as much
You're
as humanly
flashing,
possible.
Arnold? Is that
Can't stop flashing me. Arnold is mentally a child. I thought this was a family show.
Yeah.
This is a
So-
family show. Please, Cerulean, thank you.
Put your boobs away. There's children.
So Arnold is wearing his I'm gonna like push the limits of prestidigitation here as much as humanly possible. I'm gonna make him like fully kitted out in purple. It is very much a stage costume, whereas we're all just kind of like back up to him. He is obviously the main showman of us all. So he's decked out in full purple with black accents instead of the other way around.
Hell yeah.
And my like off the shoulder dress thing that I wear, I usually wear like a leather corset thing under the chest, and that thing's going to be purple. We're going to do some purple stocking type deal, and then still her boots. So yeah, and I'm going to say that Mel and Cerulean have like purple feathers in their hair, and I've made like purple makeup happen, and I've even put some purple on Arnold's face, but I did not to Garath because I know he has stabby things and I don't want to be.
You guys are appropriately bedazzled. And this guy sort of like comes down the line and talks to you, Arnold, because like obviously you look like the front man of the show. And he's going to say with his real deal character voice this time, because last episode I was hustling to finish the episode up and I didn't give him one. So he's going to say,
He sounds like Sly Stallone, Sylvester Stallone all day. That's what he sounds like.
No.
all right, what's going on
Thanks.
over here? What are you supposed to be?
Definitely Trump.
So, yeah, that's all I'm hearing. I'm not
Only
happy about it. None of this
100%
is
a
making
Trump
me happy.
impression.
He
So
is the human equivalent of a Cheeto, and we all don't like him. That's the character, not former President Donald Trump.
And also the former,
Also former President Donald Trump.
There you go. So, so appropriately, so Arnold just turns and says, "I'm preparing for this main event." Someone else, what do you do? Are you kidding me? What are you doing right now? You're trying to get in. What are you? Why are you interrupting our process?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I am the staff of this event, so you're going to have to lower your tone.
We are the Ghost Mafia. Do you know? Do
Okay,
you understand?
that was going to be my next question. Thank you so much. Your name is not on the list, so unless you've got a compelling reason to keep you in here, should I know you from somewhere?
Much like Santa, who we have met, you should check your list twice because we are on this list.
Oh, I also want to point out that anytime Arnold or anybody says Ghost Mafia, Garrett jazz hands.
Okay. Do you have like little like tambourines on your hands so that it's like a?
I do. Hold on, let me go see if I can find some cute pom poms.
No. Okay.
So
Ah.
Cerulean steps in and says, as the name would imply, we are basically Phantoms. But she keeps a straight face.
All right, she keeps a straight
Yeah,
face.
but you
Hey,
have to too. Try again.
What's
You
hang
keep
on a second.
doing it
What's,
so you can
what's
do it with
going
a
on,
straight
audio
face.
only listeners? Katie's doing jazz hands, and it's funny. All right,
I
Katie.
don't know. So we are
Way cooler than
basically
jazz hands.
phantoms, and then it fades out. And she says, we're gonna have to make a gif of that so people know. But she says, we're very popular in the underground scene, and you would be remiss to not have us in this. And I'm sure Lady Gralhund would not be pleased.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
flexing
very well liked, and we're very niche, which means losers like us.
All right, Cerulean, give me a persuasion check with advantage for dropping the name of the person throwing this fit.
Okay, first roll's 16, and I have pretty good persuasion. Thank God for advantage. Oh. We're not going to talk about what the second one was. 21.
21. Okay. You see him waffle for a second, and you see him turn and look at all the other groups sort of like walking away. But finally he says, all right, well, if Lady Gralhund knows that it's you, I suppose it's good that you're going to come in here. I'm supposed to catalog your categories. Clearly this effervescent fellow at the front is the front man. I'm going to say he's the ghost. The rest of you probably the mafia. What are you playing?
Take it away, Arnold.
Oh, I mean, he said he assumed I was like, obviously, I am, the front of the band. I'm one of the singers. There are two of us. So, I'm a singer.
Who's the other singer?
That would be
Okay.
Cerulean.
And these other two ding dongs?
I vote we all sing.
Yeah, we're not a capella group except for all the instruments.
And also Gareth beatboxes.
Yes.
I love that for us.
The
Okay.
sneaky one plays the mouth drums.
You're telling him he's sneaky. What are you
The sneaky one, the one covered in
The sneaky one. What did I? Okay, Katie's brain didn't mean to say sneaky, but that's how it
It's all
came
good.
out.
The shiny
Alright.
one, maybe.
Fine.
The shiny one plays the
Yeah.
mouth drums, and then I'm sorry.
So when his brain isn't working, it's all right. But when my brain isn't working, it's let's make fun of Diana.
Yeah.
To be
You're
fair,
all perfect.
Just checking.
Not you,
in my-
Alex, but the rest of
in-
them.
in my defense, it's make fun of Diana time all the time.
That's fair.
And he looks at Mel and says, "And what do you do there, grumpy lady?"
Grumpy lady. Goddamn, bestie. I'm not even that grumpy today. I am. What do I do?
Cerulean steps in and she goes,
Plays an instrument. So I said I don't think Mel would play an instrument. So
she plays the electric harp, and I turn around to face Mel and look at her with really big eyes and into Anthony or
You're doing it in me?
into Arnold's head. I say, golly, distract him for a second, and I'm going to cast separate prestidigitation on her bow to add some strings and make it a fantasy electrical harp, which
I was going to go with she's a hype person. She's just dancing. She is all hype, all fingers.
Hey,
Arnold and Mel are singing, or Arnold and Cerulean singing, Mel every now and then like, oh yeah.
Another one.
Mel is our DJ Khaled.
All right.
exactly.
Mafia.
That's pretty clever. I'll take that. Let's say that for the sake of what we're doing here, he doesn't notice you turn around and sort of like pizzazz the bow that is currently in Mel's hands. And then he turns.
Put out though that my bow was just like pizzazzed into something else. Like I would be grumpy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
All
then
right.
I whisper into her head, it doesn't actually change the function of it. If you touch it, the strings aren't there.
All right. He turns back to Arnold and says, okay, it looks like you've got everybody here. Your artificer is running late. Do you have one of those? Gotta have an artificer to get in.
We do.
Yeah, isn't it Ronald? I thought Ronald was on his way. Wouldn't we have brought Ronald?
Hi, Artificer. Sorry, I was running late.
Oh.
I'm here. Sorry, I was running late, but yeah, I'm here.
You all turn down the street to this new voice, sort of like speaking over Gareth's shoulder, who I imagine is in the back. Jess the Mess. Who are they looking at? What do they see?
Hi. They see me. I look very medium. I'm wearing overalls. They're purple, but nothing else. Just overalls.
Hell yeah!
Like Waluigi.
But with all like one side buckled, so like the other side, like the titty falls out sometimes. As happens. And my hair is just very large. It's just flowing out. Seems to have a life of its own. Yeah.
Is it like 80s like perma sprayed out, or is it just big naturally?
It's big naturally. It's very Beyonce with a fan. So just always like very, very drama.
I like how you described yourself as medium and your hair is big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just my hair and the one boob flowing in the wind. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you've met all of his fucking idiot requirements. So he like makes a check by your name, and he motions to you, Arnold, and you guys walk through, and there's another guard sort of like standing at sort of like a gated entry, and he unclips like a velvet rope and ushers you in.
I have a question. Everyone get ready to drink. What about Joshua Patrick?
Why am I drinking? I'll drink.
I guess we're drinking whenever somebody says.
So is he just coming in? Is there an issue with him coming in, or
Okay, well, first of all, what is Joshua Patrick wearing? I'm so sorry to forget.
Ooh, okay. I gave him in the last episode. I gave him a purple bow tie.
Okay, cool. The guard with the velvet rope eyeballs Joshua Patrick, and Joshua Patrick
who is a wolf puppy, Jess, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Jess.
Mel's companion.
Mel's animal companion is a wolf puppy named Joshua Patrick after the world famous quarterback of the Waterdeep sports team, the Buffalo Bulls, who bear a passing resemblance to the Buffalo Bills, who I believe are a football team in the National Football League. Anyway,
never heard of it.
Jay Peasy looks up at this bodyguard, who, by the way, is a half orc, so he's like 6.5 feet tall. And there's a moment where the half orc sort of like furrows his brow, and then JP sort of like, and the guard lets you all in.
All right.
He is our hype man. Joshua Patrick is the hype man.
For sure.
You just started breakdancing.
I would love that. Okay, so the internal courtyard of the Gralhund mansion. None of you have been in here before. This is all new terrain, and by that I mean like you are stepping into the land of like the Waterdeep 1%. You are looking at a sprawling expanse of very carefully cultured and tended lawn.
The rich.
Damn so straight. The outside is bordered by trees and foliage, cleverly hiding a 10-foot stone wall with iron spikes on the top of it. There are lanterns hanging on strings, sort of like lighting up this whole expanse in like a soft golden glow. You see food stands, you see drink kegs stacked up, amiable bartenders in waistcoats and ties serving the sort of like crush and press of crowd. At the far end of this courtyard from where you're entering, you can see the house itself, which is this like beautiful, like 3-story Italian sort of like terracotta villa with like, stucco walls and red tiles with like sweeping curves of glass and stone. And actually, as you're looking at it, you notice that that direction is where the actual guests to the Fey Day are coming in. There's a entrance where people are walking in wearing incredibly elaborate masks and headpieces and ball gowns and fantasy tuxes, whatever people wear in our fantasy game that we're playing. But you see the sort of like nobility of Waterdeep coming in with their canes and monocles and other Mr. Peanut accessories. But the one thing that you do notice right away, Arnold, is 4 stages set up in this courtyard in each sort of like corner. There are many corners in this courtyard because rich people can afford corners. But your eyes are caught by 4 of them, which are sort of like large, illuminated, and currently empty. But as you sort of like walk through the crush, there's a moment where you guys have like a second to yourselves. There is a podium at on one of the stages, sort of like closer to where all of the rich people come in, that is currently empty. There's a spotlight shining down on it.
Cerulean immediately like takes in her surroundings, notes, okay, where are the exit points, but then turns to this big-haired, am I assuming woman, since, or are we okay.
Jess, what pronouns does your character use?
See her.
Okay. So I turn to this chick and I say, I appreciate you saving our tails. However, who are you?
Hi, my name's Tess. I just, I wanted to get into this thing. It looks awesome. And I heard you need an artificer. That's me. So here I am.
Okay. Cerulean would be very slow to trust. I don't know the word I'm looking for because my brain's mush.
Hesitant. How would everybody else react to this sort of like newcomer sliding in here? I'm curious.
Are you like a human character? Are you what's your class situation? Do we know?
She is a human.
Just okay. I think Arnold would not be concerned at all and just be looking at the stage at this point. I hate to say it, but I'm totally ready to go on stage.
Yeah.
And just go
Got the blinders on.
I don't care.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know Mel's thoughts.
So I think that Mel would actually be a little bit like overwhelmed by everything going on because it's not really her usual surroundings, if you will, being, more monsters and forests and whatnot. So I think she would be a little bit overwhelmed by everything going on. I'm probably a bit skeptical of the new person. But maybe not as outwardly so, just trying to take everything in and feeling very out of her element.
Okay.
Not immediately murdery.
Not immediately murdery.
Very out of her element there.
Whoa.
Out of character.
Still remains able to do the murdery thing if necessary.
Garath, how about you?
Yeah, no questions asked. Just goes in for a handshake, and you didn't sign anything. You're getting none of the reward. That's all us. Sorry, no cut.
You just say she's not getting any of the money?
Not getting any of the money. All right.
But other than that, very interesting, I think.
So
Everyone's
happy to
ready
be
to
here.
drink. I think that Joshua Patrick would be real interested in the new person and would be like snipping at her. And I'd be interested to see how she would react to Joshua Patrick, because that would tell me a lot about her. That was twice. You're behind.
I totally thought you were about to say Diana, and I would be interested to see what she smells like.
Well, it's funny you should mention Joshua Patrick. Jess, Joshua Patrick is a very young wolf pup, probably about the size of like a tiny golden retriever.
okay.
With a big purple bow tie and a leash on, because Mel is a responsible pet parent.
Okay.
You see this coal black wolf pup walk up to you cautiously and look up at you, and its eyes, you notice immediately, are a startling beer bottle spectral green that almost seem to shimmer in the overhead lantern light.
Okay. So like a real Heineken eyeball situation.
Exactly, the old Heineken eyeball situation. And it reaches up to smell you. Sneezes once and then walks back to Mel.
Tracks, yeah. Well, yeah, I love him. Immediately I would die for him. He's perfect. I lower a hand to try to pet him. He's like indifferent, probably. Yeah.
He's smelled what you're made of, and is Good to go.
I'd probably squeal a whole bunch and then be like, I would die for you probably too many times. Yeah.
Adorable.
So Tess is just sitting there repeating, I would die for you. I would die for you.
Like trying not to cry because there's a
Anyone willing to die for Joshua Patrick, like Mel is immediately like calm down and ready to be best friends with Tess.
All right,
here
tremendous.
to make friends.
Cerulean is just painted in trepidation.
Mood falling out is a little off-putting for just because it's odd. I mean, she doesn't kink shame or whatever, but it's it's a look. It's a look.
Mhm.
It's Vogue, it's the new thing that's in or out, depending on which way
It's
turn.
you know what it is, guys. It's very in right now. Several of the nobles you see walking in do have a titty out. And
Couple even have a dick out. You know what? Who knows?
Nipples.
Some of them walking around, balls hanging.
I quit.
One ball.
Yeah,
One ball.
just a
one
single nut.
Is it like, do you get to choose between like one butt cheek hanging out or one nut?
Yeah.
Nah, you know what it is? It's called the Waterdeep walnut, and it is a fashion trend. All right,
It's called the one nip, one nut. Yeah.
There it is. There is a sort of like rustling nearby, and out of the crowd, you guys are sort of like buffeted by this crowd, sort of like moving into the courtyard. And you hear a familiar voice say, "Well, I didn't think he was going to show up. Bunch of lily-livered cowards." And you turn and you were looking at Wish Tankian and Matt, who are fully bedazzled in their sour puss gear. They've got eyeliner on. They've got their hair freshly neoned. And I do mean that literally. It's glowing with a sort of like fairy fire. They're wearing leather jackets. And Matt has what appears to be, Arnold, you would recognize this, like the most badass loot slung around his neck that you've like low-key ever seen. And Wish Tankian sneers at Arnold, at you, and says like, "I didn't think his was gonna make it. They say the security here is pretty tight. Don't let a lot of riffraff in."
I just reach into my vest and I pull out that same flute. That
I thought you were gonna say a gun. I thought you were gonna say a gun. I've been hanging out with Garath too much.
No.
If you were gonna show up,
I take out my fantasy pistol and just blow them away. This is a new game.
What do you pull out?
No, I pull out my ribcage fantasy magic voice stealing instrument, and I just kind of show it to him. I'm just like, I don't think you want to do this right now. Matt
immediately pales and sort of like takes a step back.
Is there any water around? Like, is there like a fountain or like a barrel with water in it?
Near where you guys are standing, you're sort of like around the drinks table, which is obviously a very popular part of the courtyard. However, there is also a separate table just with like water, and there's also like non-alcoholic cocktails and stuff sort of like laid out. But yes, Cerulean, there's like a number of like water cups sort of like stacked right there.
I would like to step behind Mel and take shape water and pull the water out of the pitcher and just dump it over his head. Matt's. And okay. I hope that the neon runs down his face.
Okay, you don't roll for that, right? Shape water's it's just a cantrip.
Yeah, it's just
okay. So the blood in his face like drops, seeing these pan flutes in Arnold's hands, and he takes a step back, and you shape water, and you probably get like a good grapefruit chunk sized thing. You're not pulling like a beach ball's worth of water, because I imagine that would draw a little bit more attention than you're going for. And you drop it on his head, and this fairy fire like douses briefly, and Wish Tankian gasps, very surprised. However, the fairy fire actually ends up like coating his face a little bit in like a little bit of like neon tears kind of style. And I'm gonna be real, Cerulean, he looks so much more badass now.
Dang it, rip.
But he is, but he's obviously like, what? I'm sorry.
And Cerulean just steps back and says, "No, I really didn't want to deal with you twice in a week. And you really just kind of pissed me off by breathing my air. So we'll just see you never. Or if we do, you're not going to have fun."
Wow. Okay.
Garath says nothing. Garath has no beef with these people.
Yeah, I love that Garath never had beef with these two.
They're paying customers, man.
That's true. Well, yeah, they were. Okay, so you sort of like flex on these two, and there is a murmuring through the crowd, and actually a robed figure steps up onto the stage with the podium, and Wish Tankian locks eyes with you, Cerulean, and says, "We'll talk about this later. Sourpuss out." And
Cerulean rolls her eyes.
she and Matt back up, and she's doing jazz hands as she does it.
My thing, that bitch.
You look to the stage to see a older half-elf woman with dark hair streaked with gray in a very tasteful purple silk ball gown with jewels. Both of her bosoms restrained fully, as well as her whatever her downstairs situation is. She's very classy, this lady. And she taps on the mic.
Only one nut out is what you're saying.
She taps on the mic
One
and says,
labia only.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
and she taps on the mic and says, "Yes, Katie."
Oh no, nope, keep going.
That was her tapping on
She's
the
running
mic.
down one labia so that she
I
remembers.
mean, hey,
Taking
listen,
notes.
some notes are very important. She taps on the mic and she says, "Yes, welcome everybody to my Fay Day celebration." And while she speaks, the lighting around the courtyard actually brightens with her words. And it's not just the lanterns, but it's also a little bit of the candles on the drinks tables, and it's the torches lighting the food vendors, and like sort of all of the lights swell with the crescendo of her voice, almost like this entire courtyard is like moving to her volume. And the crowd sort of like naturally pulses up to this stage to listen to her. And she continues and says, "This is one of Waterdeep's most excellent festivals, and I'm not just saying that because it's mine. I'm saying that because I am Lady Yalah Gralhund, and this family, we run this town. We are here today to celebrate Fay Day, to celebrate staying in touch with one's wild side." And she makes a theatrical sort of like gesture, and a spurt of like green fairy fire like extends from her hand. Not like in danger or anything, just a sort of like a burst of like color. However, all of you notice that it is almost this exact same shade as Wish Tankian and Matt's hair. And she says, "My husband and I started this fate 8 years ago to commemorate. I don't remember what he purchased, but he purchased something. You know how it is. You purchase one thing and you forget." And there's an appreciative giggle among like the 1%. However, Garath, I think standing there, you notice a couple of the bartenders serving drinks. You see their lips sort of turn up in a sort of like hidden scowl. But there is an appreciative.
Sorry, I was gonna ask if I could do an insight roll on the bartenders to see how the guests are treating them.
Ooh, yeah, give it to me. That's a great one.
We love our food service workers here at Chris
Tip your
Stupid. Thank
servers.
you.
One.
You damn right we do. Tip your fucking waitresses and waiters and
Sure.
bar staff. All right, go ahead, Gareth.
Hold on. Tip your hosts, everybody. Typically they don't make tips, but they should. Tip your hosts. The guy who seats you at restaurants, give them money.
Also,
Yeah.
send your regards to the chef.
Yeah, fact. Anyway, Gareth rolled a 9.
All right. They look like they're being treated okay. Either because of the way they're dressed, they are also wearing like waistcoats and ties. This isn't your average like everyday cater staff. Like these guys are churning out really nice cocktails, really like they're being very polite. Whether or not that's a polished exterior, you're not quite sure.
They're not just like regular bartenders hired for a fancy event. They typically do fancy events.
Exactly right.
I'm with you.
So Lady Gralhund continues talking a little bit more about being in touch with your wild side, and her speech lingers quite heavily on purchasing things, like her and her husband having purchased things to help them get better and grow. which strikes a chord with the bedecked, bejeweled, and bedazzled guests, but not so much with the staff as you would imagine. However, a curious halfway point between these two groups are the music groups that you guys are all now ostensibly a part of. Turning to see, you see Wish Tankian and Matt, the two members of Sourpuss, their eyes are locked on Lady Gralhund's every word. The assless chap cowboys are mouth agog, just sort of like enraptured by this woman. Every one of these bands is like hanging on this woman's words like it is life or death. Which is curious because like not even the nobility are treating her with that level of reverence. However, in the middle of her speech, there's a kerfuffle to one side of the stage, and a jacked man. There's no other way to say it. This dude is like yoked all the way up to his traps. Rushes on stage and whispers in her ear. You don't catch any of the words; they're clearly too faint. And her lips open in like a muted gasp of surprise. And she says, I have to go. I'm so sorry. And she turns and rushes off stage, escorted by this man, into the crowd. And she's replaced by a mediocre white man who's the MC of this event. And he says like, yeah, let's do it. Battle of the Bards.
Can I follow her, or is it like starting?
So the event is starting. However, there is one band already there are bands already moving to the stage. You, Garath, actually, and Mel, probably Mel being the ranger, the person who's like keen at tracking people. You see her and this guy move through the crowd towards the house. Okay. However, the first thing that gets in your way is a short dwarf woman whose beard is like slicked into like a spike, and she's holding a clipboard and she says, "Hey, use the Ghost Mafia, right?" Jazz hands. You're in the second round. You're going up on stage 4 over there. Don't fuck up. Hey, if your artificer needs time to get his switches in gear, you got to get over there right now and test it out.
Yeah, you should probably go talk to her about that.
She looks at Tess and says, "You the artificer?"
Yeah, that's me. Hi.
What's up? You gotta get your switches in gear, and then I think anybody who's singing, you need to come check out your mics, make sure they're all good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sounds good. Just direct me where to go.
All right, so Arnold, Cerulean, and Tess are going over to the stage in the corner. Mel and Garath, you are going towards this sort of like procession. That's just so I've got everything clear.
Yeah, we were going to follow Lady Gralhund, see where she's escaping.
With Josh.
All right. I mean, I will assume, Bessie, that unless you tell me otherwise, you've always got Joshua Patrick.
Just because like around like a Pokemon in the.
I don't want to keep track of another thing, low key. Okay, let's do Mel and Garath first. You make it about 10 steps, Mel, before you hear a shocked gasp and a young noblewoman steps in your path, gets in your way. And Joshua Patrick immediately gets between you two and starts growling. And it's like really cute because it's a really high pitched growl that is not menacing in the slightest.
And he's trying really hard.
He is trying so hard.
He's so spoopy.
You are looking at a sort of shorter noblewoman with blonde hair and a cigarette in a cigarette holder that she's gesturing with. And she points it at you, Mel. And she says, "Aha, it's you. You're here."
She's pointing a cigarette at me.
She is, yes.
That's what she got cut up on.
She taps it.
Smoke.
I'm fine. That's like I've been drinking. I'm sorry. I'm real stuck on that. Okay. And I don't recognize her.
That is such a good question, Diana. You do actually recognize her. The character, Mel, recognizes this woman as your quote unquote competition from Davil Starsong's ship.
Oh, that bitch.
That's exactly the one.
Mel kills her immediately.
She looks at you and says, I've been searching for you. I've had my father's best men on it, and now you're here, and I must speak with you. A little girl talk, if you will. And she ashes her cigarette again, and you can tell like this is like a nervous tick, like she's tapping like the full ash, like anyway. But she puts her hand on your wrist, not threateningly, but Joshua Patrick doesn't like it one bit, and he does reach out to sort of like snap at her foot a little bit.
Hell yeah.
And a man manifests out of the crowd, some general bodyguard looking dude, and sort of like pulls, he doesn't go for Joshua Patrick, he pulls the woman like out of the way. And she says, yes, of course, Toll, but of course I've got this. Listen, I'm not sure what you thought you saw on that ship. I'm sure we both don't remember it. Yes, we were very shook up. We were very
distracted.
Not in our sound minds. Yes, should we say? And perhaps it would be best if we you just forgot my name and face.
I low-key haven't thought of this bitch.
I was gonna say, not an issue. Already ahead of you. We're on the same page.
Mel just turns to Garath. Who the fuck is this person?
I mean, honestly,
Honestly.
fuck.
For reference, Jess, this is her her character's all-time crush right now, and he's like a pirate.
Yeah, picture someone really, really hot, and that's
We said
what you
Jason
look like.
Momoa. We said Jason Momoa.
Okay.
I want to specify, not standing in front of Mel. Jason Momoa is not standing in front of Mel.
No.
Garrett, standing in front of this person, you notice a couple details about their dress. They are painfully fashionable. Not only is a titty out, but there's like a whole like bedazzled cutout in the dress where they've like studied the outline of it in rhinestones.
Yeah.
I like that.
They are young. They're probably like maybe in their mid-20s, human.
I'm gonna say fuck them.
Yeah. And
Disgusting.
angrily tapping the cigarette as she points it at Mel again and says, "Now my name is Sarah Landauer. Now you might know my father as Lord Landauer." And she leans in real close and says, "Of the closed council."
In the middle of her saying this, Garath just like reaches out and takes the cigarette off of
I love it.
Gareth, give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, that's my best one. Fuck yeah.
While he's doing that, the closed council is what rules Waterdeep. Is Lord Landauer, is he the mouthpiece, if I'm remembering correctly?
The open Lord of Waterdeep is not Lord Landauer, is somebody else. However, every other seat on the council is a closed seat, so nobody knows who is actually on the council.
He's just being so stupid. Love that for
And a
us.
16.
Okay, Garrett, you managed to stay exactly 1 inch ahead of the bodyguard reaching for your hand. So you like snap it, take a quick hit, and put it back like right before he can reach for you. And he feels like a fucking buffoon.
I think that.
Oh yeah, it's like when you're trying to like catch a ping pong ball, but it keeps like.
Yeah. It's like you just look like an asshole. What'd you say, Diana?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, Mel would definitely be giving him like side eye, like type deal, while also like brushing the ash off of my cloak and making sure she sees me brushing the ash off of my cloak. Cause like, stop tapping your fucking cancer stick on my shit.
She sees you do that, and it does not register in her eyes at all.
God, she's dumb as shit.
Didn't even realize her cigarette went missing.
She probably didn't, honestly.
Pump her for information.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said pump her for information. She's stupid.
She is real dumb. So I would, after brushing the ash off, look at her and say that, we are we're just here for the competition, but I don't know if I can forget what I saw on the ship that day.
Now you're getting into very dangerous territory, miss. Now, I know that you heard me allegedly attempting to sell some of my father's possessions. Yes, attempting to sort of get a little bit of cash. But I must assure you, it's not at all what you think. I'm not trying to weaken my father's position on the closed council. Now, that is a dangerous lie. And she sort of like taps her cigarette again. It was a rash decision. I was swept up in the moment with a wild romance, the likes of which you've never felt a day in your life. So don't you judge me, Sarah Landauer, with your bullshit. I'm an American now. This is my accent.
I got so angry that it
No one agreed
changed.
to America in this story.
I got so angry that I moved to a country that does not exist in this fantasy world.
When I
Canada.
When I get upset, I become American. Anyway, continue.
Honestly,
Right.
same.
So Mel would be still low-key annoyed about the cigarette and would brush the ash off and probably at this point just like fucking take it and
Okay.
put it out. I'm also to kind of like scare her a little bit because I'm kind of scary.
Mel, I would love an intimidation check from you, please. Let's see how successfully we do this.
I'm drunk. What is that? A 20?
It is a
Yeah.
20. It should be in your big bubble there, middle bubble.
See it. It's in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 17.
Okay, you manage to pluck this cigarette out of this holder. The bodyguard goes for your hand as well. Again, Joshua Patrick not having it. But Joshua Patrick doesn't need to do anything because you are so fast that you snap this cigarette out of the holder and you snap it in half and you drop it in the grass. And Sarah Landauer is visibly shaken. Now she notices that her cigarette has been taken. Now she is looking at you full attention. And we're gonna take a quick 5 minutes and we'll come back and we'll hit this.
Okay, Pete.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into soon-to-be world-famous Dungeons & Dragons Real Play Podcast, Critically Stupid. I am, of course, Alexander James, your eccentric, cheese-loving, sports ball-playing dungeon master, and I'm here to tell you about some things and some stuff that we got going on. So just give me a couple moments of your time, and I will have you right back to the episode. For legal purposes, I am required to tell you that we are playing an official Dungeons & Dragons licensed module, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It's written by Chris Perkins, Scott Fitzgerald Gray, Kim Mohan, and Michelle Carter. Normally, this is where I would tell you to go to a certain website and check out some cool products. However, I'm not a huge fan of Wizards of the Coast or Dungeons and Dragons right now. I think they've made some bad decisions regarding the open gaming license. Hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, those bad decisions will have been walked back a little bit, and Wizards will have chosen community over cash, but who knows? So instead of going to a certain website and checking out some cool products, I think you should go to another one. Let's say www.powerrangersitsmorphintime.com. See where it takes you. I don't know. Roll the dice. If you would like to end up as a character on the show, you can tweet us at CritStupid. Tell us what you think of the show. Tell us if you think we're doing a good job. If you'd like to see something different or new, let us know. We used to do hour formats, and then somebody said they wished we had longer episodes, so now we do hour and a half. So we're here. We're listening. If you want to see something, let us know. But you can end up as a character like the successful return of Sarah Landauer. That's at SR Landauer, Landauer on Twitter. Sarah supported us since we had, I think, like one episode on YouTube and Spotify. So her importance to us cannot be overstated. Sarah, thank you so much for tweeting at the show. Thank you for sticking with us. And I'm sorry that your first appearance in the show was roughly 5.5 seconds long. So hopefully this makes up for it. There's still an opportunity for you to come back. So once again, thank you. You can also end up as a character like Amanda Wishner, Matt Syadak, and of course, Duster. Matt Syadak is at MSIADAK on Twitter. My girl Amanda Wish is at AWishWrites on Twitter. And of course, Duster is at ANDDUSTERZ. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. I hope you continue to do so. I hope it's not like a one mention and then you're out of here scenario. But yeah, if you would like to end up as a character on the show, you can tweet us. Let us know how you think we're doing or if we can do anything for you. I think that's all I've got for now. I'm going to let you get right back to it. Thank you so much for tuning in again. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel or leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts. And yeah, that's it. All right. Be good out there. I love you.
Welcome back to Critically Stupid.
I peed so hard. Okay. Sorry.
While this
I
is
peed
happening,
pretty soft.
Peed real hard.
No, me too.
God,
had a
I'm
rig
so
pee.
fucking desperate to move on. While this is happening, Garath, you hear a crash and clatter. And you overhear one of these bartenders say like, I'm so sorry. Can I help you, sir? And you hear a familiar voice say, yes, it is no problem. I would like another beverage, please. And you turn just in time to see a familiar red-headed figure turn and clock you directly in the eyeballs. And Ranear Neverember spreads his arms wide and says, Garath! My main companion, it is so good to see you.
Katie, what do your notes say about this person?
So
We are
Ranear
gonna-
Neverember is the person that followed us into the sewers to try to find Floon, and he has also been
Oh,
mentioned
yeah,
at the
yeah,
House
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Hands. He's been mentioned at the House of Hands as
Nah.
holding a thing, and Cerulean is very wary of him.
Cool.
We're going to cut away from that very, very quickly. Arnold, Cerulean, and Tess, you walk into this tent. Each stage has like a little corner tent on sort of like the backside where like clearly like the next performer's wait to go on. The act on stage, Arnold, give me a perception check, please.
Got it.
Actually, Tess, you too. Jess, in one of your bubbles, there's a list of skills. They're alphabetized. There's one for P for perception. Roll a D20 and add that score to it, please. Tell me what the final number is.
I only got a 12.
12. Okay.
Doing Garion.
He is taking his shirt off.
The one titty?
He's free in a titty.
This is a family show. She
Oh
said,
shit, I got a 20. That sounds good.
Oh,
you rolled a 20?
is it
rolled
that?
20, and then my plus some is perception plus 4.
Please explain
So-
the nat 20 to her.
Jess, when you roll on a D20 on a 20-sided dice, if you roll a natural 20 or a natural 1, those are crit successes and crit failures. A nat 20 is the best you could have possibly done. So I'm about to give you I'm going to give you way more information than I'm going to give Arnold or that I would have given you if you had gotten, say, like a 17.
Okay.
A crit fail is obviously it's the opposite. You're gonna do real bad at the thing you were trying to do.
But I'm so good at everything. So this is
You are very good at everything. So, Tess, you know a couple of things right off the jump. Number one, the group on stage is a bunch of hacks. The music coming out of their instruments is poorly amplified. The vocals are wavering and off pitch. The technical instruments that they are using are not attuned to them, and therefore you estimate the effectiveness of their song to be at about 50% of what it should be. Like, it's very poor quality. Another thing you notice, Tess, is they smell of
Shit.
rank day or 2-day old clothes that are unwashed, and a forgotten alleyway in a long abandoned city.
okay.
They smell like
Kind
mildew.
of sounds like we have a lot of
Garbage?
It
insults
smells
lined
like
up.
sadness and regret, which
They smell like sadness and regret. That is exactly right.
perfume if you were to make one.
Standing in this tent on a stool is a gnome woman with fiery red hair and glasses, and she is looking at a large spread of papers. And she looks at you and says, "Oh, you're the Ghost Mafia, right?"
I'm like, yeah. Have you heard of Excel? It's much easier to use than paper.
And
I think she's over at stage 3. My name's Pantomima. You're
We are
going
the
on
Ghost
next.
Mafia. Yes, we are.
Okay. You're going on next here. Your mics. Check your mics out. and she hands you 3 microphones and says, "Where's the rest of you?"
They're using the bathroom.
Oh, they're doing a pee break. Okay, that's great. You're going on real quick, so you need them back here real ASAP. Check your mics. Which one of you is the artificer?
That's me. Hi.
All right, you, tall girl, get over here. And she turns you, Tess, to a magical, let's call it a switchboard for lack of a better term. There are different colored like switches and sliding scales and colored orbs. And you start sort of like fiddling with them, knowing what you're doing and setting it up to be the spectrum you want it to be at. Cerulean, did you want to say something?
I was at first going to message them to come back, but I feel like trying to fumble our way through making them look like musicians might be harder than letting them continue to snoop.
Okay.
How dare you?
You don't know if I see.
I will message Mel
Maybe
and we'll
I'm
let her
secretly
know.
a vocalist or really good at an electric harp.
I will message Mel and let her know that we are about to go on, but that it's up to her to prioritize what's more important. So, Mel, they're saying we're about to go up. If y'all want to come up here, or if you think you need to do what you're doing and keep doing what you're doing, then do that. But we can handle it if you need us to, or just book it back here.
Am I still with Sarah? What's her fuck?
Sarah Landauer. Yes, you. This is live time. So just as you throw Sarah's cigarette down at her feet, you hear Cerulean's voice in your head.
Okay, so I would respond in my head to Cerulean and say that to give us if you can just give me a quick minute, and then I would turn to Sarah whatever, and I would stomp out aforementioned cigarette because fire safety.
Absolutely.
I would say I'm about to go up, but one thing I just can't figure out is why you're trying to overthrow your father anyways. It's been bothering me. I might have to ask around and find out. I don't.
Ooh, okay. Her eyes go wide at that, and she starts sputtering excuses at you. And so, now you better not, or I'll send my father's men after you. They're most fearsome. What I was doing on Captain Star Song's ship was none of your business, and my father's position on the closed council is as secure as ever, despite rumors of me selling it out from underneath him. Shit.
I never said it was on a Sunday.
Okay, so that's Mel. Cerulean, do you say the same message to Garath, or do you just hit Mel with it?
I thought they were together.
She leaves Garath in the dark and then makes fun of him for it.
Wait, I thought they were together.
They were together, but I didn't say anything to him out loud, which Cerulean wouldn't know necessarily.
That's true.
Mel and Cerulean are a lot tighter than like Mel and Garath, so that's
unsurprising.
Yeah, that's who she communicates primarily with.
So I was dealing with Sarah, and I didn't say anything to Garath.
Okay, I'm gonna let her ride.
I would see that I have rattled her, obviously.
Of course.
And
amen.
I would probably say, it's interesting that you are bragging about the strength of your father's men that you just threatened me with, considering it sounds like you're the one that they need to be worried about. And honestly, it's not my business. I don't really care, except that it's been keeping me up. I just don't understand why. It's your father. I don't understand why. And I need to know. So maybe I'll just ask your father.
Don't talk to my daddy, you crab-riddled bitch.
Oh, God.
And then she I think she turns and like literally runs away from you. Mel.
Nice.
And then
I love
Mel
it.
shoots her in the Achilles tendon, paralyzing her.
Honestly, I'd be real tempted to like make Joshua Patrick like grabs, like,
Oh.
like pull her
Rip
back.
out her femoral artery. Yeah.
That too.
Let's
I'd be
go.
real tempted.
Wait, Jess gets to be a murder hobo, but we don't? Rude.
Yeah, Jess gets to do a lot of things you guys don't get to. We'll get to that.
Did
Just
she
dawned
thought
on
so.
me.
like run off into the crowd? Like, is she gone?
Yeah, she's gone. You beat her sort of like solidly.
Then at that point, I would turn to Garath, and let him know that, hey, we're about to go on.
Gareth is fully not paying attention, talking to Ranear Neverember, his bro.
Okay. I will say the seconds are ticking by, Mel. So you right now are going to have to make a decision between going on with the band or staying with Garath.
And Gareth is just chatting with.
Ah, fuck. Gareth is going on stage as well, I guess.
Arnold, what do you got?
I was gonna ask. So when Cerulean is messaging people, is she like looking off into the middle space? Does she do anything? Like, how does that work?
I
No,
like to think of it as her eyes sort of like cross.
Her eyes
she's
kinda
just sort of
cross?
like.
Because like I imagine like while she was doing that, like I was getting like Arnold would be getting ready, but then he's just like tries to do it himself. He's just like Gareth. It's just like Gareth. We need you.
You're
wish
just
us
muttering
well.
Gareth's
like just
Gareth.
doing his best.
Gareth.
Gareth. Just
Help
Gareth.
me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Yeah, he's doing his best to Matt. Like he's trying to copy her. He does not have that power. It is not within his capabilities whatsoever.
What's going to
But he's-
happen is Mel
he
and
doesn't
Gareth
know
are
that.
going to show up, and then the bard is going to think that he does have that.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will say that Cerulean, one of the things that she like prides herself in is that she doesn't let on that she's speaking to people telepathically
Of
until
course.
she wants them to know.
Sure,
She
sure.
doesn't want people to know until she wants them to know.
I was doing a goof.
Oh, before I leave Rainier Neverember and join the stage, can I do something that may seem a little strange, but maybe useful later? Who knows?
Do it.
You know my cool magic teleporting knife?
I do.
Can I just be like, hey, can you hold on to this for me? Sorry, let me do my character voice. I'm about to go up on stage. Can you hold on to this for me until after our performance? And do not fucking steal it. I swear to God, I will find you.
Sorry, didn't see this one coming. Yes, of course. Everyone knows Rainier Neverember helps them no matter what they need. If they want to buy my fucking establishments right out from underneath their mother, they can have them. Yes, I'll take it. And he reaches for it and does cut himself a little bit because he reaches for the blade in a drunken swipe. But he doesn't notice, and he puts it in his pocket, just sort of like raw.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, Arnold, you close your eyes and really press out and touch something spectral. And you know this because Mel and Gareth show up right away.
Fuck yeah, Arnold, you did it.
Knew it. You know, so I look at him, it's like, and I kind of like do like a little wink at Gareth. Gareth, and it's like, let's do this.
So, Pantalina.
No, pantomima.
Pantomima. Thank you so much. Pantomima says, "Okay, here's the deal. 3 rounds. First round, you're just going for applause, right? You just want to be. It's a rule of applause thing. Second round, head to head, and then the final round, second round, head to head. All 4 of you, the final 4, and then the last round is the 2 bands go head to head. That's the rule. They're finishing. Go, go, go. And you see a sweaty group of like young, like teenage age musicians sort of like crash down the stairs, and they're like high-fiving each other like they just fucking played at Woodstock. Like they think they were fucking amazing. And as they're coming down, their artificer is carrying like their own personalized switchboard, and you can see Tess, actually there's like a pair of initials inscribed in the corner. And she looks at you and she's like, huh, good luck. And then they fucking roll out of there.
Cerulean's gonna look at Tess and be like, "Girl, I hope you got our backs," as we walk up on stage, and she's gonna look to Arnold, and she's gonna say, "Hey, can you make the sound of an electric harp come from Diana's bow? Because I don't, my reach isn't that far."
You mean Mel?
From Mel's bow.
Let me take it back. Sorry.
I'm sure the listener will forgive us that one. Let's carry
cool.
on.
Yeah.
They're gonna
alright, so-
unsubscribe from our YouTube channel. They're gonna take the
We
effort.
just lost everyone. We have one listener left. It's just me.
It's
It's just me. It's no
We
one
don't
else.
All
have
right.
any playing tonight. Let's go.
Yeah.
Arnold, tell me the vibes of this.
Yeah, so Arnold is just like full Eye of the Fantasy Tiger at this point, like is barely listening to Cerulean, already has the plan to ignore everyone behind him and just completely cast minor illusion to make all of the music is what his plan is.
Okay.
So
I will say that the
Go ahead, Gareth.
I will say that the only thing Garath is doing is as soon as he hears that it's applause based, is he just starts cheering into the mic. Yeah! Yeah!
All right, you get a handful of confused drunkards in the crowd that are like, woo! They like start clapping for you. Jess, you smell fresh cut grass.
Okay.
Arnold, what as you hit the first notes of your song, tell me the sort of vibe that you're going for with your first song in the Battle of the Bards.
the first song?
First song.
Oh my god. Okay. I think the first song is gonna be like not like all like the electric like soft parts that lead up to like an explosion, but just like we're just starting off with like just like
Okay.
like breaking out into like a
Strong.
I just feel like
hard-
Barracuda. Bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da
So
bum
yeah,
ba da
like
bum
I'm
ba
going
da
like
bum
straight
ba da bum.
electric right away. Like, we're not leading into anything. We're just like breaking out
Just
into
drop into it. Okay. I would
for the first song.
Tess has a t-shirt cannon and she's just shooting them
Fuck
into the
yeah.
crowd.
Hell
She wants them
yeah.
amped.
Murdering elves left and right.
It's
They're
like
hitting
taking-
people in the face, but they love it.
Yeah, she's not shooting into the air, she's shooting people.
She's shooting at specific people who don't look pumped enough. It's like, fuck you in particular, take this t-shirt.
And also,
You
they're
are now a
not
ghost
t-shirts,
and
they're
part of our
regular
mob.
cannonballs. She's killing people.
Yeah.
Okay, I would love, Arnold, a performance check from you with advantage because everybody is stoked to be up there with you.
Gareth is cheering.
First roll was awesome.
Just imagine Gareth into the microphone going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am the designated beatboxer, and that was my job.
I got a 24.
Holy shit. All right.
Killing
You
it.
drop almost like old school heavy rocker style, like holding your pick above your guitar, like frozen in motion. And then you drop into this first chord. And Arnold, you've played music before, obviously being a bard. You've played by yourself, you've played in ensembles, you're familiar with the amount of music and richness that can come from that motion. But what happens when your fingers hit the strings of your lute blows any performance you've ever performed completely out of the water. Your sound almost like explodes from this stage, not in like a capping way where it's too loud and people are like deafened, but like the subtle richness of it pours out of your fingers, and like all of a sudden you are in the flow, and
I
you're
cry
playing-
immediately.
You're tearing up, and you're playing this lute, and your voice is solid and it's not cracking, and like you immediately see people turn from their drinks, from their food, from their conversation. There's a fat dude with a turkey leg wrapped in bacon who's left it forgotten in his hand as he looks at you enraptured.
Never been
And
more
people-
Throws it on the stage.
He throws his turkey leg onto the stage and he's like, fuck yeah. And people start like pushing up to you and like listening. And as you sort of like play this song, you notice like people are like vibing on what you're singing. And like there's a handful of like whispers throughout the crowd. Mel and Garath being people who aren't like super, and like you're performing, but you're not like blinders on like Arnold are. You notice people like pointing at you like, who are these people? And like other people are like, bitch, I don't know.
This is just
And
like
so,
how
like-
I smelled it.
What was that, Tess?
this is just how I smelled it would be.
All right.
So
Yes.
ominous.
Everything.
Very confused. I love it.
And then before you know it, Arnold, it's been 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and you hit the last chord of your guitar. And for the first time, you've heard a couple of bands, like you are playing congruently with other bands on other stages. This courtyard is big enough that you're all playing sort of at the same time. But you have drawn the whale's share of the crowd here in this courtyard, and like people start applauding you for the first time. They haven't applauded anybody else in this sort of like Battle of the Bards scenario.
To be fair, don't applaud, they get a fucking t-shirt shot into their gut. I mean,
the threat of no applause is physical harm and a nice cotton dye. But like you don't have much time to enjoy it before Pantomima is in your ear and is saying like, get off! And there's another band waiting in the wings to go on, and it is the familiar fairy fire bedazzled forms of Sourpuss as Wish Tankian stares daggers at you, Arnold.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, he's staring daggers, but we just like blew the roof off of this place, obviously.
And-
Like
Obviously.
Could I make a post edition? I would have been using my dancing light as strobes and stuff, as stage
Incredible.
lighting, like
like a
laser show.
laser light, like a
I
rave.
shoot extra t-shirts at them. Yeah.
Okay.
Gareth
Cerulean, as
started
you
shaking some ass.
Gareth's got one butt cheek out and it is clapping.
yes,
Gareth
Clapping
started
so
throwing that
hard.
shit in a circle.
it's traveling through time and just can't be stopped.
I repeatedly just spanked that butt cheek t-shirt.
With t-shirts, just hammering t-shirts off that butt cheek.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
You said you could bounce a quarter off that butt. I can shoot a t-shirt off of that one.
Cerulean, you cast dancing lights, and like again, you're familiar with the effects of this, but like something about what is happening on stage, your dancing lights start like strobing and casting like bursts of fairy fire in like almost like disco lights.
Pyrotechnics, what's up?
And but Wish Tanky and Matt actually step up on stage before you guys step off. And
Is there any water? Is there any water? Is there any water?
No, this is a dry part of the.
Okay, well then I'm going to use create water,
Okay.
and I can create up to 10 gallons.
That's a lot of water.
I drink all of it.
Is there a kick drum that has a hole on the side of it anywhere?
No, all the musicians bring their own instruments up.
Okay.
Oh, put the water in their lungs.
Let's just murder our
We did.
competition.
Hello?
They walk up and they're like, good.
I try to sing and it's just gargling.
Okay, so I would have found like the biggest container that I could, empty container in the vicinity.
It's a champagne glass.
Sure. That's not great. But if there's like a big like drink thing or like a serving platter or whatever, I would have filled that up with water as much as I could. I probably am only going to get 3 or 4 gallons out of that if I had to guess.
Yep.
And I'm going to take it, I'm going to split it evenly, and just right before they go on stage, I'm going to spread the water out right in front of them, but I'm going to try to do it stealthily.
I'm trying to sabotage.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
All right.
I mean, they're gonna biff anyway. Don't matter.
So really, give me a sleight of hand check. Let's resolve it with one roll. Let's see how you do.
Okay, natural 17.
Okay.
Hold on.
You get a +3.
I'm rolling awesome today.
Quite well.
No, sleight of hand's just straight roll. So 17.
17. All right, you create water, and you, as you say, there. Let's say there's a tray with like various cups that other earlier musicians have like put after they've like taken one last sip and then gone on stage. So you managed to fill those, and as you say, you got about 3 or 4 gallons. And you. I mean, how do you pour water in a way that doesn't look like you're pouring water? Explain that to me.
So I wouldn't pour water. I'd take the shape water and I'd thin it out into a sheet and then drop it right in front of their feet. They might even
Alright.
see it, but at this point, I'm trying to do it so fast that they don't have an opportunity to
You
react.
just scream, my water broke. Oh no.
All right. As a dude, I'm pretty sure that is how your water breaks, and it does
Yeah, your
break
water
in
breaks.
in an explosive sheet of water.
Yeah, no, your
like
water,
the tide,
your water
yeah.
literally breaks like a
Right.
pane of glass on the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah,
You've
no,
been holding
yeah.
your water, and then it does break.
Yeah,
Sort of
you're
like-
carrying it, and then you trip, and then you drop it, and you're like, ah, damn it.
Oh, my water broke again.
Welcome
don't
to
wanna
Critically Stupid, where
assume-
we know anatomy. and
I don't want to
things-
assume, but I think I'm
Uterus.
the only one whose water has actually broken.
I
I am a parent.
am
so...
pregnant.
Okay, yeah, Cerulean, you get the stage wet essentially, and like you manage, you try and cover it up as like an accident.
I thought this was
but
a
you are-
family show.
You
How
are
wet is that
on-
stage?
How
that
wet?
That stage so wet, you guys. Anyway, you made it. You kind of covered up as like an accident, but like Wish Tankian knows. And as she brushes past you, you hear her sneer. Don't matter, none sourpuss gonna fuck this stage up. Do you want to get off? Do you want to get off my boards?
Can I just have like plants come and just like slap them in the face?
If
Plant growth?
if you want to blow a spell slot on it, absolutely, yes, you can.
Okay, so I imagine it is past hors d'oeuvres at this event because it's fancy. So there's
Yes,
obviously going to be arugula or
Mhm.
rocket. So I make the arugula grow, and it grows, and it just slaps them in the face. It just bitch slaps them in the face, and then on its way down, it slaps them in the dick.
All right. So
yeah.
let's say there's a waiter, very nice bow tie, very nice vest, with a hammered silver tray of deviled eggs with some arugula on it. And behind you, Arnold, you hear the clicking of switches on your artificer's board. And I imagine like a muttered incantation. And then all of a sudden, a open fist made of arugula reaches up off of this tray of deviled eggs and slaps the shit out of Wish Tankian, and then on its way down flicks Matt in the dick.
I mean, he did have one dick revealed, so I just uncovered.
Tess or Jess the Mess, can you please roll roll 2d6 for me?
2d6.
Yes.
Like I roll two of them.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I rolled one and it says 2.
Okay.
And I rolled again
Mhm.
and it says 1.
Okay. So Wish Tankian sort of like recoils, and there's like a red splotch against her face, but she keeps her feet. And Matt, Matt's having a rough night, just sort of like all day. Matt gasps as this arm of arugula flicks his
Just the tip though, because
From what I understand, sometimes that hurts worse.
So this arm of magic arugula flicks his wiener. And he takes a point of damage. All right, you guys get off stage.
Garath
And-
says and does nothing because he has no beef with these people.
stay in your lane. I like it. Yeah.
This is so like you bullied Matt. This is so relentless. Like Wish Tankian deserves it, but like my man Matt is just. It's like Jerry Gergich from Parks and Rec. Like shit just keeps happening to him. All right, you guys get off stage, and Sourpuss jumps on, and they sound pretty good. Annoyingly, they have an artificer you guys don't recognize who wasn't in Troll Skull Tavern when the two of them rolled in. Clearly, maybe they like rented somebody or had somebody like as a third party accessory. But irritatingly, they do sound pretty good. And your crowd that you guys worked really hard together actually does start like clapping for them a little bit.
I start booing.
Do I still have the t-shirt cannon?
No, Tess, I think your t-shirt cannon is a stage only weapon. It would be OP to give you that shit just roaming around.
Oh, what about her regular cannon?
Now, okay, your regular ship's cannon.
Wouldn't take that cannon with her off the stage. I mean, I don't know Tess that well, but from what I've gathered, she's the sort that would Like that cannon's hers now.
You know what's fun is I didn't know Tess had that cannon until she said she had it, and then I had to just go with
Me
it. I had to
neither.
say yes and. So
Improv, baby.
I didn't know I had it till I said it. So.
my yes and is that shit stays on stage. But let's say while the last half of this sort of like first round of the Battle of the Bards comes through, a form lurches out of the crowd towards you. And says, yes, I have kept my promise, Mr. Garath. I have your blade right here. I didn't let her go for 1 second.
It's just like covered in his own blood.
Gareth, you see Ranear Neverember holding your knife by the blade, and there's like blood dripping through his fingers. And he looks at it a little dismayed and says, I appear to me have made a bit of a whoopsie-daisy. Gareth, do you have a band-aid?
You know what? Lots of band-aids down in Trollskull Manor. Feels free anytime to come in and have something to drink, have a book to read.
As long as you pay for it.
As well, you couldn't have said it better myself. This is not my business partner.
Wait.
so really
Excuse me.
Takes no
Excuse me.
stitches in his future.
One second. Excuse me. You said the Trollskull Manor, yes?
Yes.
You said this place.
Yes.
Mr. Garath. He swings an arm around your neck, ostensibly companionably. But Garath, his grip is pretty tight around your neck, and he whispers in your ear, loud enough that the rest of you can hear it, because this boy fucking drunk as shit.
Hammered.
Hey, guys.
He says, so you would be neighbors with the person that stole my father's tavern, wouldn't you then, Garath? Yes, in your neighborhood. I bet you know this Dustin Froon. Tell me, what do you know? What do you know of this man? Is he a piece of shit? Is he a human garbage disposal? Does he reek of piss? Tell me!
Who?
You know what? He has never once given us a single cent. So as far as I'm concerned, he is a bastard man from Garbage Town.
That is exactly right. Now, this is the attitude that I knew I could expect from you, Garath, whose last name I do not know. But this is
have one.
Just Garath. Then yes, like Cher, I love it. So this is the point, right? This man, this Froon character. He came from nowhere. Garath, I've never heard of him before, and he bought my father's establishment. He paid for it in cash. Yes, cold hard coin. He's this several tens of thousands of gold tavern, and he just bought it, just took it, and then Ranear Neverember was of course served papers from the city of Waterdeep, letting me know that my status as nobility was being threatened by this man. Yes? No, of course not.
Are we all there?
Yes, everybody is there. Everybody can get a hand on this ball. You can all talk to
I'm
me.
gonna go ahead and take my knife back, by the way.
All right. Yeah, he hands it to you, Blade, first.
I take it by the handle.
He looks at you a little weirdly, but okay.
Like, how dare you do the sensible thing?
Bro, aren't you gonna hurt your hand if you hold it that way?
Yes, it would appear that I am bleeding.
No, like he said that to me when I take it by the handle.
Oh, yeah.
Cerulean pulls out a Ninja Turtles Band-Aid and puts it on his hand.
There is hang on a second. Canonically, there has been one box of Ninja Turtles Band-Aids, and it's fucking bold of you to assume that you've got one of those bad boys kicking around your pockets. Okay?
You don't think that Cerulean would have like a Mary Poppins purse of everything that she ever needs?
You might have a Mary Poppins purse of everything, but you have regular you know what? You have Rugrats Band-Aids in your purse. Okay.
Also, I can't believe, like, in context, I know what you say, but that sentence is great. What you mean, my character can't just have a bag full of anything she ever needs at any given time whenever it's convenient?
No, just think like a mom bag.
Like
Dora the Explorer.
So, like, I know what you mean, like a first aid kit and stuff like that, but like the way you phrased it was funny.
She has fantasy ibuprofen. She has fantasy stuff for hangovers.
She's got fantasy Werther's originals rattling around the bottom of that thing.
This is fantasy.
She has a fantasy gun in case your fantasy pain is too much to take.
No.
That's my shtick, first of all, and I don't carry a purse, but if I did, you bet your ass it would have a...
It's just a revolver-sized purse.
Fantasy antidepressants that she doesn't have to fantasy pay for because there's fantasy healthcare.
Oh, must be nice.
At our fantasy bar. We provide top tier healthcare.
Even in fantasy, You gotta pay water. You gotta pay a health insurance premium.
Yeah,
Um,
fantasy
I don't know
healthcare
what
is
that is.
also what we call regular healthcare in real life.
It's true.
Not in the US,
Ouch.
it's
Sounds
fancy.
fake.
Let's be honest.
All right. Ranear Neverember, just because we got to move along a little bit, looks at you all and says like, yes, it is my friends from the sewers. How are you, Mr. Senor person? And he points to Arnold and says, you look tremendous. I've never seen a costume of such pageantry before. You should come and perform at one of my restaurants. I used to have 7. Now I have 6 because my life is fucking tremendous. Ranear Neverember. Never misses a beat. Yes? Would you like a drink?
So I say two things. First of all, I love you. We met before. I don't know if you remember me. I kind of like take off my mask. I'm like, remember we had eye contact situation on the.
Like,
I was like, I
Got
saved
your
your
map
life from that
you do.
exploding thing. Remember?
Yes, of course. I was locked up in a closet. I remember this very well.
Yes. So, but then I'm like, hey, so you say you have fewer restaurants now. What's the restaurant like? What does Dustin own? Which restaurant is that?
Olive
This-
Garden.
This person, Ranear Neverember, heaves a sigh to the point where like you hear bones in his back creak a little bit. And he says, come closer. No. Excuse me, sir. Come quite close.
I
And
like
he
put my lips on his cheek. Like I just
He whispers into your ear. He doesn't flinch away from you.
Into your mouth.
He says, this is the greatest travesty that has ever befallen the house of Ranear Neverember. Yes, this man has taken my father's ex-father. That's right. I'm disowning him before he gets a chance to disown me this time. My
Fair.
ex-father's establishment. I'll be back.
holy shit, what a name.
It'll
Oh
be
my
back.
god.
I
Everyone
hate
we're
that.
renaming Troll Skull.
What's up, Diana?
Above table, was it his father that
was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
money
Man.
the embezzlement? Was it his father or was
Yes, it was Diana. Fucking
I
A
remember
plus.
something.
Yes.
And fuck you for making fun of my memory earlier.
No, that is exactly who it was. Ranear Neverember's father, Dagult Neverember, was famously ousted from being the open lord of Waterdeep for embezzling money. 500,000 gold coins, which is ostensibly somewhere under this city. The key to which you are all currently looking for.
I bet this guy has it.
Probably. Behind you, you hear a muffled applause, and then the ringing tones of this mediocre white man MC hopping back up on the mic. You are all sort of like
You can just
talking
say
to-
white man. I don't know why it's like at this
I mean,
point.
we can all agree that
That's good, you know?
all white dudes are mediocre.
Not me.
But-
I'm the best.
Yikes. There's like he's like sort of like speaking in the background while you guys are talking to Ranear as he's like whispering sweet nothings in Arnold's ear. But your attention is drawn when you hear 2 familiar words come out of his mouth, which is these strident tones ringing, saying the Ghost Mafia. And you hear a not inconsequential amount of applause come from the crowd. And there is a tug on Mel's sleeve. And Mel, you look down to see Pantomima, looking up at you and saying, like, you made it to you're one of the semifinalists. You got to get back on stage. You're in the top 2.
So
Go up. I don't know. Who am I?
I assume we'd be close together.
Yeah, you're all in one zone.
I would probably tell Cerulean. Be like,
Okay.
hey, we made it because we rock. We got to get back up there. Make sure Tess gets her t-shirt cannon. We're gonna threaten people into cheering for us. Let's do this.
So Cerulean looks at everybody. She goes, y'all, we got to go back on stage. Come on. And she's like starting to get serious about it. She's like, this is her new life. She is a performer. Okay.
Competitive edge of Cerulean comes out. I fucking love it.
Yeah, no, she's like ready to she just Matt and what the frick is her name again?
Wish Tankian.
Tankian.
Wish Tankian piss her off just by existing. So she is just out to slaughter him.
As you guys are walking away,
Wait. My lips are still on this man. Like
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
My lips
I'm
are
so
literally. I
Arnold
have
is
not
still
left this
kissing
person.
this guy.
I'm so
I'm
kissing this
Cohen.
man's cheek as I'm
Arnold,
speaking.
tell me
I just like Arnold would just before he leaves be like, I have to go, but I promise I will get that restaurant back for you. We're gonna figure this out. Don't worry. And I go back and I just like.
Okay.
I make a lip to cheek promise with this man as I leave. I create a side quest for myself that no one else is aware of.
The vibes of this are so immaculate. Ranear Neverember reaches behind him, Arnold, and pulls a glass literally at random without looking and says, I will drink to your honor until your 4 children are dust in the ground. Here's to you. And he like swings this glass around and spills it all over you. And it's empty, and he still takes a swig. So you are all headed to the stage. Arnold, you reek of Tess. Arnold reeks of cucumber, mint, and the smoky hints of mezcal.
You're damn right.
Okay,
That's really
okay.
pleasant.
Now we're talking.
Why were you like, Arnold, you fucking reek of lavender?
Because he's got a lot of it going on. Diana,
Uh,
did I miss you speak? I'm so sorry.
I was just asking, like, Tess smells everything. I thought she was like a regular human.
Surely that means nothing and is inconsequential.
You guys roll up to the stage. You are going to a different stage than the first one you performed at, because actually, as you move through this crowd, you see workers in like black garb, like meant to be unobtrusive, start dismantling the other stages and combining them sort of like Megatron style into 2 larger stages on opposite ends of the courtyard facing off against each other. And the mediocre white man MC, who I'm going to label just sort of like off the top, off the dome, his name is Alex, says, what's going on, everybody?
Like white bread.
He smells like Wonder Bread.
He smells like Wonder Bread that's sat on the counter.
And fucking smooth peanut butter.
Jeff.
He says, now this is very exciting. Folks, we've got our final 2 bands here. Step lively, step up. It's time for the Fey Day Battle of the Bards. And there's a joyous applause coming from everybody. And you step up onto the stage. Pantomima Pantomima, thank you so much, hands you all the same mics, and I would love perception checks from everybody, please, except Tess. Tess does not have to roll this one.
Tess doesn't have a mic.
Tess doesn't have a mic.
Cannon. Tess only has cannon.
I am on fire tonight. I would just like you to know. I just rolled
Let's
an
go.
18. Let's see what that. You said perception.
Perception.
21. 21.
I got a 19.
I hate you. Sorry, that was a knee-jerk reaction.
What'd you get, Gareth?
Oh,
I didn't roll yet. That was to the 21
Oh,
joke.
cool.
21.
Diana?
Just bees.
Just bees all the way down. Okay, heard.
Oof. Gareth also sees bees. Yeah, Gareth got a 9.
Here's C's.
21, and then Arnold, you got a
19.
Cerulean. You are all handed different mics than the first time you were up on stage. Larger, sort of better quality. However, the other thing you notice as you're all walking up on stage is Pantomima attempts to hand Tess a different switchboard that Tess walks right past and walks up with her original switchboard, the one that she had from the first set that you guys played.
No, that's not the one I smelled. Absolutely.
Exactly. So you guys walk up on stage, and the MC says, in this corner, the original masterpieces of the ring, the brigands of the bards. It is the Ghost Mafia, and the lanterns and the lights around this courtyard flare into sudden life and then dim down as you guys take the boards, and there's an appreciable round of applause. And in the background here, yes, get it, friends, Ranear Neverember, cheers for you.
Cerulean makes a show out of bringing the lights like from the ground and like makes it into a performance, brings her dancing lights, and then at the first note, she is going to have them flash out into the crowd. Just like
Before you get the opportunity to do that, the MC announces the other semifinalist band and says, "And yes, of course, in this corner we've got the puppeteers of punk, the masters of metal. We have, of course, returning quarterfinal champions, Sourpuss." And there is, unfortunately, an equally fervent round of applause from the opposite crowd as Wishtankian and Matt step up onto their new, larger stage and sort of ready their weapons. And the MC says, "One song, 5 minutes. And then the champion will play their final tune." Now, dear listener, what's going on? This is Dungeon Master Alexander James. I did realize at the beginning of this episode that I said that there was an extra round of performance in the middle. There was a quarterfinal and then 2 going head to head. I forgot, so we're here now. Welcome.
No, we
right.
did do
Tess
that.
fills
It was such a smoke show that it wasn't even worth showing.
Exactly. It literally blew them out of the water. What does Tess do?
Tess fills the t-shirt cannon with just like cocaine.
Normal cannonballs.
She just shoots
Drugs.
through the crowd.
Drugs.
Other drugs, such as, I can't think of any other drugs.
That's the only one.
Shrooms and methamphetamine. So I'm just shooting people in the face with coke. That's just why I started doing it. I'm so fucking pumped.
Yeah, I put a bunch of meth in there, but it's basically the consistency of like rock salt. So
Yes,
it just
exactly.
really
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hurts, actually.
It's like getting shot in the face
Ball
with
of
blood
drugs.
diamonds.
Yeah, I don't, and let's just say I don't snort the cocaine, but I smell it. Oh,
Alright.
I sniff
I
it.
don't
but it
snort it,
smells
but
good.
I take a little whiff, if you know what I'm
It
saying.
it smells fine.
It smells like raw electricity.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
Well,
opposed
like I'm
to
raw
cooked
dogging
electricity.
electricity.
Yes, as opposed to cooked electricity. Fuck you. Arnold, tell me the vibes of the song that you were going to play.
This one starts with drums right away. Like it's just all
You're just playing
it's like a
Freebird.
driving. Whereas the other one started with electric guitar. This one's starting with drums. It's building up in a way that people aren't ready for.
Are there
But
grunts?
it's still starting heavy, but it's still.
People are
it's
just
drums.
getting hard.
Oh, that's right. I'm making everyone hard is what's happening. I mean,
No, I got it. No follow up needed. I got where you're going.
Yeah.
What is the drop into the song? Because like there's obviously the percussive buildup, but like is it a guitar? Is it a synth? Is it a vocal?
I'm gonna go synth this time. This
Okay.
one, it's going synth this time. Yeah.
All right.
It's going. It's like heavy drums with like. It's like getting crazy.
Play
'Cause
Freebird.
It's second
All
song. It's not our best song,
Drop.
but it's definitely
Okay.
better than the piss that we're up against. So, yeah.
The piss.
They're terrifying.
So you
Sour
hear
piss.
sour piss.
Sour piss.
You hear this percussive beat start from the floorboards beneath your feet, and for a second it almost sounds like somebody is hammering on the stage itself until these drums like build and resonate until they're like echoing off the courtyard walls and down through the trees, and then there's this like sweet synth like stinger that starts slowly and builds up, and then you drop into like the chorus and the instrumentation of this song. Across the way, you see Sourpuss fucking like hammering on this lute that Matt is holding, and Wishtankian is like already like singing her brains out. And the two of you play your song sort of like against each other, and the crowds are going apeshit. Holy fuck. Yeah, the crowds are losing their fucking minds. Your half of the courtyard is like pulsing with the drum beats and is like cheering. Cerulean, your dancing lights like flicker up and are sort of like pulsing with these synth beats and like you see all of like a sea of like enraptured faces in black and white and staring up at you. And
Garath is shaking more ass.
Garath, you're shaking that one butt cheek like you've never had a second one.
To clarify, I do have a second one.
No. Canonically,
Right.
Garath has one butt cheek.
Are you robbing me of a butt cheek?
You don't have a butt crack. It's just
You
It's
bastard.
a
Solid
smooth
man.
orb hip to hip.
Give it back.
Episode title: Are you robbing me of a butt cheek?
Give it back.
No, absolutely not. Mel.
The crackless man.
Mel, you
None of us are crackless if you're
Coming for the person shooting
Out all that
crack at
cocaine.
everyone.
there's all there's
It's
all
like
I
a-
forgot.
it's like-
Amidst the drums, amidst the synth stinger and the huge crushing light, there are clouds of like white smoke as like Tess slams this t-shirt cannon full of Coke baggies and like bursts it across the stage.
Which Cerulean then spreads her lights out into lasers, so it's like a full laser show.
Oh, hell yeah. Your special effects are blowing the shit out of Sourpuss. You see their crowd start to turn and slowly drift towards you.
It's the cocaine.
Mel, I would love a perception check from you, please.
I just saw bees last time, bestie.
I understand this.
Stop
Let's
leaving
see
you.
more bees.
Wow. Oh,
I found it.
I see bees.
What'd you get?
An 11.
All right. It's not great, but you do notice the color of the lanterns hanging on these string lights above the courtyard change color and turn into pink and green and blue. The color of which is eerily similar to the shade of fairy fire around Wishtankian and Matt's hair, and the exact same shade of green that Lady Yalah Gralhund spat out of one hand.
See, I just feel like this shit is rigged, which I said or before when you said that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then again, we are actually just like throwing cocaine into the audience.
And then I feel like maybe Mel would have noticed more if she wasn't totally like coked up. And...
You know what you do notice, Mel and Diana? You notice Joshua Patrick push up against the bound of his leash and like lunge towards the edge of the stage, sniffing up a mean storm. And we're going to ignore the fact that there's coke floating everywhere. I'm not, listen. We are not,
JPZ is not getting into it.
we're not coking up a harmless animal. Joshua Patrick smells something that is not fantasy cocaine.
Coke dog.
So
Would
sorry,
Cerulean
Coke
have
Dog.
noticed that, like Joshua Patrick?
I don't think so, Cerulean, because you are so competitive. I do truly think you and Arnold specifically are like driving this song. And like, I think Cerulean notices the crowd start to pull towards you, and it only feeds that like internal competition. And you start to like Phoenix from the ashes, like glorify your victory a little bit.
I feel like the more into it she gets, like the brighter the lights would get, just because she's like in it.
Absolutely. Tess, the air of sparkling electricity smells vivid, almost like raw ozone. Bestie, you see Joshua Patrick start snarling at the crowd specifically. And as he pulls against this leash, you see a shadow dart between two people sort of like at the front of the stage. And you notice what appears to be a small human child caper between two of the adults, two well-dressed like noble figures, wearing a nice kitty tux, both nipples tastefully enclosed in cloth because they are minors, but dart out and then immediately back into the crowd.
The kid does that.
The kid does that.
Tess is alarmed because she's like, isn't this an 18 plus event? Sorry, 21 plus? I don't know.
Damn it. Gareth leaves.
Everybody here is a fantasy adult. Diana, or what does Mel do seeing Joshua Patrick act this way? Tess, I'll get right back to you in 1 second.
Mel's priority is and will always be Joshua Patrick. So even though everyone's like with the show and whatnot, like Mel at the end of the day, like it's fun, but you know, JP. So I would probably be, I would kind of step away from the show a little bit, just like to the side,
Mhm.
to be like, what do you? Maybe I would get like down to his level since he's a puppy and he's still wee and
Little guy.
no, so cute.
Just a little guy.
And be like, what is it? What do you see? What do you see? Like how people normally talk to dogs when they are.
Yeah. You have to raise your voice to be heard over the sort of like drums and guitar and synth that is playing. Getting down to his level, you see more of these small shadowy figures dart into the crowd. And I will say it's a shocking number because you guys have been here for at least like an hour and a half by this point. You haven't noticed any kids. You've been interacting with adults, so like it seems like a startling thing that has just happened.
Sorry, are you done?
No, I've got one more thing. Sorry. Well noticed. I did pause for too long. Another thing you notice, Mel, is the masks that all of these nobles have been wearing are starting to sort of like ripple in front of your eyes. There are people who have been wearing masks of like, because this is the Fae Day celebration, so everybody's been wearing masks to look like Fae, like tree bark and bits of moss and tree limbs have all been like the decor of the evening. But as you're looking at it, Mel, these tree limbs start to expand away from these masks around their eyes and sort of like encroach around their head. The moss starts to bleed down almost like tears and move down their face.
And this has nothing to do with the psychoactive drugs we just blew into the air.
I'm going to say
concerned that there was LSD in there.
Let's say that no, Tess would never intentionally poison you. This is good. This is good cocaine only.
So we're having a good
Like
trip.
a family show. Yeah.
This is a family show full of good cocaine.
He did mention though, and
Remember,
like the
kids,
powdered
if you're gonna do cocaine, make sure it's good stuff.
Good stuff.
the pure shit.
Tess, you slide a button on your switchboard, and all of you feel the drums reverberate so strongly in the floorboards beneath your feet that for a second, Arnold, Garath, sorry. I think you are momentarily worried that the boards are going to break. Like the stage is barely holding back the strength and the suavecito-ness of your music. But the crowd is fucking going apeshit, and they are out cheering and screaming, and people are pointing and saying like, "That's the Ghost Mafia!" And they are like living for what you are doing. Mel, you see a shadowy figure dart out of the crowd and make eye contact with Joshua Patrick and smile. It's not in a threatening way. They sort of like grin wide. And you see 4 elongated canines in a child's mouth and a pair of dazzling blue eyes that are twice the size of a normal human's.
Nah.
And then they turn and slam back into the crowd, bowling over 2 of the regular adults who are already starting to twitch and spasm a little bit, like their muscles are starting to roll out of their control. Arnold, at the next slam of guitar, you're already lost in this song. You are singing for the glory of the crowd and the story that you're telling with your words. At the next strum of your guitar, you feel it explode from your fingertips, almost like the spells that you've been casting with your pipes or the magic that you've pointed at other people. And you feel it's almost like a ripping sensation in front of the stage. You fart so fucking hard. You blow the seat of your pants.
Can't stop farting.
Right out.
The situation, I knew it was happening.
Bro farted so hard that he gained airtime a little bit.
It shot him a little bit forward.
Okay.
A little bit forward because when you fart in space, it does push you forward.
True.
You hear
it's
this.
Same if you ejaculate in space. It goes.
It pushes you backwards as a fact.
Backwards. That's how astronauts move in space.
And that's how if I was in space and I was dying and that was my last hope.
You'd fart or nut.
Every time I've been in space, I've ejaculated, and it has moved me to the other side of space.
Arnold, you hear this ripping sensation, and your faces are bathed in a dazzling green and blue light as the air in front of the stage tears open.
Oh no.
And
There a
you
portal
are
to the Feywild?
you are looking at a forest glen with pine trees and long grass and fireflies dancing in the air.
Dancing in the moonlight.
God, what a fucking banger.
Can I examine in any way to see if this is some kind of spell that's been done to us, or if it's something?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check, Arnold.
Let's see. I did not roll very well, but let me see.
I love that.
I got 16 total.
Okay. Okay, 16. Arnold, you have never once in your fucking life seen this shit.
All right. So essentially, Arnold's just like, this is the best song I've ever played, and it's second to last. How am I going to top this? I start getting nervous. I was like, I can't do better
This
than
is the
this.
last one, right?
Oh, it's the last one?
Yeah. Remember, Alex did a little.
Oh, I'm
aside
sorry.
when he
Okay.
said I
This-
forgot.
you are playing.
Yeah,
You're playing.
fuck.
playing
So
for the
I'm-
win. I did
So
fuck
I'm
it
basically,
up.
yeah. So I'm basically just like, this makes sense. This is exactly what I wanted for our last song.
Okay.
I shredded so hard that the fabric of the universe.
Yeah.
has
I'm
torn
sorry,
apart.
Tess.
Cerulean. Oh, sorry. Go.
Tess, did I miss something?
No, sorry, you can go first.
All right, Cerulean.
I assume at this point, Cerulean would notice a rip in the fabric of the universe.
Correct. Yes, everybody notices the rip in the fabric of the universe.
Do I recognize it?
Gareth's pretty dumb.
all?
No, I mean it's pretty obviously like a spell is being cast, but you would not recognize like the origin. Like this is not something on your pay grade.
No, I mean, like, can I identify what types of trees they are, or are they like
Like
things
what's on
that
the
I've
other
read?
side of the tear?
Have I read
Ah.
about like them maybe in a history book about the Feywild, or like?
I mean,
do
they
recognize the
look like
terrain?
they look like big old trees, and the grass is lush. And Tess, it does smell like
Fresh grass.
freshly picked apples and cider on a hot summer's day.
I missed that. Tess actually goes up to Cerulean and just like wraps her arm around her waist, just a little bit touchy-feely. Tess grabs the microphone because Cerulean has a microphone, yeah?
Yep.
And was like, thank you very much from DJ Miss Tickles. My last name's Tickles.
Miss Tickles. That's
Tess,
hard.
you're wait, stop.
What? What's that?
Just
Hold
on. Are we saying like
My last name's
mystical
Tickles.
or
Yeah.
mystical?
Tess, is your character's name Testicles?
What are you talking about?
Miss Tickles.
I thought about this for a very long time, Alex, what my name would be.
I can tell she's played the long con. Alex did not put this together until this very moment. What a beauty. I'm so happy to be a part of this moment.
Alex is dying a little bit.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh yeah.
DJ Mystical.
DJ Miss Tickles. I'm like, thank you for tuning in. I grab Cerulean around the waist and I actually jump into this fabric of the universe with Cerulean, bringing her with me. And I land on the other side. We roll a little bit. We made it on the other side. We are on the other side of the fabric of the universe.
Can I reflexively throw my knife at them? Or not like at them, but into the tear?
Give me a basic dexterity saving throw. I think Garath, this would be.
Okay.
Into the testicle.
Don't, god damn you.
Yeah. Okay, well that's on the ground now. The second D20, go. 18. Hell yeah, plus 3 is 21.
Oof. All right,
yeah.
You all hear screams just start to erupt from the crowd as somebody Mel looks down and notices these wee humanoid figures scampering about. Somebody screams and Tess and Cerulean jump into this portal and Gareth's knife whistles through the air as it follows them. And then with another ripping sound that almost echoes the final chord of Arnold's guitar, the hole seals shut, and Tess and Cerulean are gone.
Bestie.